It was a quiet evening when David, my husband, sat me down with a serious look on his face. The tension between us had been building for weeks, and I could feel it. He told me that he had been thinking about our marriage and how we were slowly drifting apart. He said that he wasn't sure how to fix things, but he believed that we both needed some time to reflect. I was caught off guard and confused. I thought he was talking about leaving me, but he assured me that wasn't the case. Instead, he wanted some space to figure out what he wanted and what we needed as a couple. I couldn't deny that things hadn't been the same lately, but the idea of taking a break felt like an impossible decision. For the next few days, David and I spent time apart. I moved in with my sister, hoping that some distance would give us both clarity. During those days, I walked through the city, lost in thought. I thought about how we had once been so in love, and how things had changed over time. It was hard not to question whether this was the end for us. Was this space just a way for David to slowly slip away, or was it truly what we needed to heal? I couldn't shake the feeling of uncertainty, but I knew I had to give him the time he asked for. Days later, we met at a park. We had both spent that time reflecting on our relationship, and there was a calmness between us now. David confessed that he was afraid of losing me and needed that space to understand his feelings. I realized then that he wasn't trying to pull away from me, but rather, he was trying to preserve our marriage by giving us both the room to think things through. He apologized for the way things had been, and I apologized for not being more open with him. We both acknowledged that we needed to put more effort into our relationship, to not take each other for granted. We walked through the park hand in hand, talking about how we could rebuild the connection we had lost. It wasn't going to be easy, but we were both ready to try. Looking back, I understood that David's decision was not one made out of anger or dissatisfaction, but one made out of love for our marriage and the hope that we could make it stronger. Sometimes, the most difficult decisions are the ones that make you realize how much you truly care. And in the end, David's choice brought us closer together, helping us rebuild what we had almost lost. I don't know. I feel like we've been distant for a while. You know. And I don't know how to fix it. I've been thinking maybe we need some time apart. Emma's eyes widen in shock as she processes what he said. Emma. Softly. Wait, time apart? Are you saying you want to leave me? David. Quickly. No, nothing like that. I think we both need space to figure things out. To reflect. I'm not saying it's the end, but maybe some time apart will help us see things more clearly. Emma stares at him, speechless for a moment. The air in the room feels heavy. She opens her mouth but no words come out at first. Emma. Sternly, trying to hold it together. I don't understand. Why now? Why after everything? David. Earnestly. I don't want to hurt you, Emma. But I feel like we've been going through the motions. We're not the same as we used to be, and I think it's important we both take a step back to figure out what's next. We've been so caught up in everything else that we've forgotten what matters between us. Emma blinks back tears, her heart racing with confusion. Emma. Whispering. I don't know what to say. I don't know if I can handle being away from you, even for a little while. David. Softly. I don't want to lose you. I love you, but I think we both need to find a way to reconnect. I don't want to regret not doing something to fix it. Int. Sister's house. Living room, day. Days have passed. Emma is sitting on the couch at her sister's house, deep in thought. Her sister, Lucy, late 20s, easygoing, is sitting across from her, looking concerned. Lucy. Softly. You're not okay, are you? Emma. Sighs, looks down. I don't know what to think anymore. David asked for space. He wants us to figure out if we're still right for each other. Lucy. Nods. That's a lot to take in. How do you feel about it? Emma. Quietly. I'm lost. I love him so much, but it feels like he's slipping away, even though he says he wants to fix things. What if he's right, and we really need time apart? What if it doesn't work? Lucy. Gently. Sometimes distance helps. But only if you both want to find each other again. If you feel like there's still something to fight for, then maybe you need to trust him. Emma nods, wiping away a tear. Her phone buzzes on the table. It's a text from David. Text from David. I've been thinking a lot about us. Can we meet tomorrow? I miss you. Int. Park day. The next day. Emma and David are sitting on a park bench, the soft sunlight filtering through the trees. They both seem quieter than usual, as if unsure where to start. Emma looks at David, her heart pounding. Emma. Softly. I've been thinking too, you know. I don't know if I want space. I just want to feel close to you again. David reaches out, gently taking her hand in his. David. Sincerely. I never meant to make you feel like I wanted to push you away. I just needed time to reflect. I was afraid that if we kept going like we were, we'd lose each other without even realizing it. Emma. Quietly. I don't want to lose you. But I've felt so distant from you lately. Like we're just going through the motions, not really being there for each other. David looks at her, his face filled with regret and determination. David. I don't want that either. I want us to be happy, Emma. I want us to remember why we fell in love in the first place. Emma's eyes soften as she squeezes his hand. Emma. I want that too. I just don't know if we can go back to how it was. David looks at her, his expression serious but hopeful. David. Maybe we don't need to go back. Maybe we just need to move forward together, taking it one step at a time. No pressure. Just us. Emma nods slowly, her eyes meeting his. The warmth between them is palpable. Emma. Sighs. You're right. I think we've been too focused on what's wrong, instead of what we can fix together. Int. Living room. Night. A few weeks later. Emma and David are back in their home. Things are different. Lighter, more open. They sit together on the couch, talking and laughing as if the distance that had once felt so heavy no longer exists. Emma smiles at David, feeling a sense of peace she hadn't known in a long time. Emma. Softly, smiling. I think we're going to be okay. David. Nods, holding her hand. Yeah. We've got this. EXT Park. Day. 6 months later. Emma and David walk hand in hand through the park, the sun setting behind them. They stop to sit on a bench, looking out over the water, the peace between them now a steady presence. You were right. We needed that time. I feel like we're stronger now, more connected. David. Looking at her. I'm glad we took that step back. It wasn't easy, but I think we needed to find each other again. They sit in silence for a moment, simply enjoying each other's company. Emma, thank you for making that difficult decision. For us. David. They lean in, sharing a quiet, content kiss as the world around them fades into the background. Their journey isn't over, but they know they're ready to face whatever comes next together. This extended version adds more depth to the characters' relationship and shows how time apart helped them realize what they needed to do to rebuild their marriage.